If you had told me a year ago that I'd be standing in the dim glow of a hallway nightlight, torn between walking away and crossing a line I could never uncross, I would have laughed. I would have said I was too steady, too sensible, too loyal to ever even find myself in such a position. But life has a way of cracking you open in the quietest of ways, until you don't even recognize yourself anymore. It started on one of those nights when the silence of the house felt heavier than the walls themselves. My bare feet padded across the hardwood floor, the tick of the hallway clock pounding louder than my own thoughts. And then I saw it, a thin strip of flickering light beneath Jake's bedroom door. My stepson. 19. Quiet. Distant. Mysterious in ways I told myself were normal for his age. But that night, the air carried something else. Something I couldn't explain, but couldn't ignore either. I should have walked back to my room. I should have left it alone. But loneliness makes you do things you can't always justify. I froze at his door, one hand hovering near the knob, my breath shallow. I wasn't searching for trouble. I wasn't even searching for him. What I was searching for was harder to admit, connection. Proof that I wasn't invisible. My name is Claire. I'm 38, married for almost 12 years. On paper, my life looks enviable. A beautiful home in the suburbs. A reliable SUV parked in the driveway. A husband, Daniel, who earns well and provides security most people would be grateful for. And I was grateful, once. But love isn't measured in mortgage payments or dinner receipts. Love is measured in the warmth of touch, the softness of words, the willingness to truly see each other. And somewhere along the line, Daniel stopped seeing me. At first, I tried everything. I'd make new recipes, slip into silk nightgowns, lean close to him in bed. But he'd roll away, phone in hand, emails and clients stealing his focus. He told me he was tired. He told me I was overthinking. But the truth was simple, he wasn't there anymore. Not really. He existed in the house but not in my world. Conversations became schedules. Touch became absence. And eventually, I stopped reaching at all. Then came Jake. When his mother passed unexpectedly, Daniel offered him the guest room while he attended college in our city. I didn't argue. It felt right, family should be together in times like that. Jake was polite but reserved. Hoodie up, headphones in, eyes cast down more often than not. At dinner, he answered my questions with one-word replies. Daniel hardly spoke to him at all, as though father and son had forgotten how to bridge the years between them. I often found myself sitting at the dinner table with two strangers, carrying the conversation on my own. But loneliness has a way of sharpening your senses. And soon I began to notice the small things about Jake, the way his shoulders slumped as if carrying invisible weight, the quiet sighs he let slip when he thought no one was listening, the way his eyes sometimes lingered on the world like he was searching for something he couldn't name. We were both grieving, in different ways. He had lost his mother. I had lost my marriage. And then came that night. I was walking past his door when I heard it, the soft rhythm of movement, the muffled snap of a laptop closing too quickly. My chest tightened. I shouldn't have stopped. I shouldn't have listened. But I did. My hand knocked gently before I could stop myself. A pause. A rustle. Then his voice, low and calm. Yeah. I swallowed. Just checking if you needed anything. No, I'm good. That was it. I should have left it at that. But the image my mind conjured behind that door lingered. And worse, it stirred something inside me I hadn't felt in years. Not maternal. Not judgmental. Just alive. The next morning at breakfast, he looked at me. Not a passing glance, but a steady gaze. No shame, no fear, just awareness. Like he knew what I knew. And for the first time in so long, I felt seen. From then on, things shifted. Not in words, not in obvious actions, but in the charged silence between us. Passing in the hallway, his hand brushed mine. Once, when we reached for the same dish, his fingers lingered at my waist. I told myself it was accidental until it wasn't. One evening, Daniel was away again on yet another business trip. Jake and I sat on the couch, watching a movie neither of us were really paying attention to. Halfway through, he shifted, laying his head on my lap as if it were the most natural thing in the world. My breath caught. I could have moved. I should have. But instead, my fingers found their way into his hair, trailing down to his shoulder. My heart raced in my chest, every nerve alive. When I pulled away, embarrassed, he looked up at me with those steady eyes. No words. Just that gaze, unflinching, as though he could see right through me. And I let him. The next morning, he was in the kitchen, shirtless, pouring cereal like nothing had happened. But when our eyes met, the air between us shifted again. He didn't look away. Neither did I. We never spoke of it. But everything after that moment was different. Every breakfast. Every hallway pass. Every breath in the same room. The tension grew thicker, almost unbearable, but I didn't shut the door on it. Because for the first time in years, I didn't feel invisible. And that being seen, being felt, was a hunger I hadn't realized lived inside me. A hunger that once awakened, refused to be ignored.